Isn't that just stunning? Isn't that just beautiful? I've just ridden to Antibes. This is the old town in Antibes. And I'm on the ramparts now. There's the Alps in the distance. And then we just got that beautiful, beautiful Mediterranean there. And there's the Cap de Antibes in the distance. Yeah? Just stunning. It's a lovely day. I'm regretting now that I didn't go to the Estuary yesterday. I should have gone. So I'm a bit further around here. There's the old town of Antibes in the distance with the fantastic Mercantour, the Alpes Maritimes, covered in snow behind. You can see a plane just taking off from Nice. Nice is over there, sort of in the middle of the picture somewhere. And then just pan around. There's quite a few boats out here. And there's a little beach here. I can't remember what it's called. That's Cap de Antibes up there with the lighthouse on the top. And then this is just quite a nice little cycle lane here. And it's a beautiful day. I was amazed how busy it is. It's really busy. Yeah. I'm panning this small enough. So this ride to Antibes is more or less exactly 20k from my place. So it takes me about 50 minutes. I'm not breaking any records today. It's quite busy. Lots of bikes on the road today. I mean, you know, it's sometimes easy to take the beauty of this place for granted, but this is my bike, my trusty steed, a VTT. It's Sunday, and yeah, sometimes take the beauty of the place for granted, but it is really stunning here. I mean, the view of the mountains, you can't see those mountains from Nice because there's too many hills in the way, but from here you're a distance back. As I say, we're down the coast about 20k exactly from Nice. And I used to think Antibes was a little bit small, and I'd miss the city, but actually I could live here. It's a nice place. It's pretty quiet in winter, and then in the summer it's full of yachts. It's got the biggest marina in Europe, I believe, and the mega yachts are kept here. People like before some of them were confiscated by the French authorities from their Russian owners, which is outrageous, I think. But there you go. So I'll move around. Maybe go cycle around to Cap de Nice. So this here is a memorial to a Captain Peter Churchill, who was landed here in 1942 by submarine in this bay, believe it or not. And he was responsible for organising the French resistance. If we pan up there, we'll see beautiful British flag. And the French, next to the French flag. And anyway, this is a little memorial, and it's quite an interesting bit of history. I guess they landed him out there, somewhere out there. There's a little beach here. I had a swim here. Was it last summer? Must have been last summer, yeah. Cap de Antibes over there. Yeah, just magnificent view, and quite a nice little painting here, which is Port d'Antibes. That's pretty nice. So I'm at the beach, little beach here. An absolutely stunning view of the mountains in the distance. It's really such a beautiful day, and the visibility's improved today a little bit. Yeah, it's a really lovely day. I was in two minds this morning where I was going to cycle to. I was thinking of going up into the mountains, or I thought maybe I'll just ride to Antibes. I haven't done it for a while. Like I say, it's only 50 minutes. I'm quite glad I came down here. I might go and get a bite to eat in the old town. There's a lot of new developments this side of Antibes. As I say, that's the really old part, this medieval centre there. It was quite an important Roman port, Antibes. Initially, it was called Antipolis, and let's see. Okay, I'll pause it there. So here we are on the Cap. I'm on the Cap de Antibes. Trying to hold the camera steady, and there's the Mercantor, the mountains. That's the border with Italy, basically, on the mountains, and this is Cap de Antibes, and there's a road that goes all the way around. You can probably hear the cars there. There's the road, and the other side, just a bit further down this road, is the house where Edward VIII and Mrs. Simpson lived after the abdication, and it's also where Scott Fitzgerald and his wife Zelda lived in the 20s, and he wrote Tender is the Light. Just a beautiful day. Look at those mountains, look at those stunning peaks. Plenty of snow on there. The highest is Argentera, which is actually in Italy. I can see it from here. It's quite a rocky summit. It's 3,200 and something or other. So I may ride all the way around the Cap. I haven't done that before. I think I did it the last time I did it, but I was riding my motorcycle. Like I say, it's just such a beautiful day, and I'll continue around. So now I've circumnavigated the whole of the Cap de Antibes, and I'm on the Cannes side, and basically I think that is Juan Le Pin in the foreground, and then after that you got Juan Le Pin, you got Golfe, and then you got Cannes, and there's a nice little beach here. God, there's a 2CV. You don't see them too much now. When I first came to France, you'd see them everywhere. And there's some mega expensive villas in this part of the world. In fact, as I say, the Abramovich has his villa here, and I think, I'm not certain, I think it's the one that Edward VII lived at years ago. And down there, let's just pan around, in that little marina there is where Bernie Madoff kept his yacht, which was subsequently confiscated, I guess. Yeah, he had his yacht there, so it's quite a lot of cars there. It's a shame so many cars, you know. Just in August it'll just be crazy. It's better at the moment. So come right round the Cap de Antibes, and now I'm in Juan Le Pin, and there are some pines or pins. In fact, there's lots of them. They seem to be doing a lot of work on this coast. I think they're building a new cycle path right along the coast. So in the distance there, those mountains over there, that is the Estoril, which is where I was intending going this weekend. I may do it next weekend. And that is Cannes in the distance. And then over there in the centre of the shot is Golfe, where I used to do quite a lot of work on a boat there years ago, more than 10 years ago. I know Golfe very, very well. I'm very familiar with that marina and the little town. The little town's quite nice. It's a village really, and so I'll probably turn round here. I may go to Golfe. I'll see. Golfe is about 30k from my apartment, so that will be a 60k day. And yesterday was about 45, so it's over 100. I think I'll halt the thing here, and if I don't add to this, if you've enjoyed the video, then give it a like, and feel free to comment, ask questions. It's as I say, it's a lovely part of the world, and the bike is a great way of exploring it, because in general they've made lots of provisions for bikes. There are loads of cycle lanes. There are lots of there's a cycle lane all the way basically from Nice to Antibes, which is 20k. So there we go. Okay, bye. So I've come down to Golfe. This is the marina. Golfe. It's pretty big. I spent a lot of time in this marina because a few years ago, I did mention it in one of my videos. I was working on a boat here, a sunseeker. I was working for the skipper. Well, he was a mate really, but you know, I was getting paid. And his name was Paul, Skipper Paul. He was a bit of a character. He drank a hell of a lot. I've never seen somebody drink so much as Skipper Paul, but there you go. He seemed to survive. He had 9 lives. I actually made a video about him a couple of years ago. Over there is where it's called Super Cannes, and then Cannes is just round the corner there, really. So this is just a little village called Golfe, and this is probably the limit that I'm going to go today, because we're about 30k from Nice, and I've noticed there's a bit of an easterly breeze now, which is great because that's going to be in my face almost the whole way back. So it's nice, but too many cars again. You know, people here, nobody wants to walk or cycle. They all want to drive everywhere. So, and they can, because the local authorities make it very easy to drive and very easy to park. So there you go. Anyway, that's Golfe for you. So this is the fort at Antibes. It's called Fort Carré. It's actually quite big. You can't really tell from here. We're really up against the walls of the fort. I've just come back from via Juan, and now that is the view over towards Nice. You see still plenty of snow up there on the mountains. A little bit of a breeze now. This is the entrance to the port in Antibes, which is the biggest marina, I think, in Europe. Some of the mega yachts over there on the Quai des Milliardaires. Like I say, Antibes was quite an important Roman port, and but this fort dates from much later. I think it's around 17th century. I think. In the distance, you can see the Observatory of Nice. You can see the Tête de Chien, which is the piece of rock that looks down over Monaco, and then way beyond that, in the distance, is the will be the Italian town of Ventimiglia, which is just across the border. So by the time I get back, I think it'll be 60 or 70k today. Been a really nice ride, and the last bit is a bit dull because it's mainly along the coast, and you can get a headwind. We tend to get the easterly winds when we've got unsettled weather, and so the fact that it's slightly easterly probably means that the next few days the weather's going to change, but for now it looks pretty good, and so I'll leave it there. So this is quite interesting. We're looking down on the marina in Antibes. There's Cap de Antibes, where I was a couple of hours ago, 3 hours ago maybe. And now I've climbed up to the Fort Carré. Quite an impressive building. And the guys just told me it's open. I don't know when it shuts, but it's open to visit. And it's an impressive impressive piece of architecture. It's in the style of Vauban, who I believe was the military architect in these parts, and lots of the fort at there's a fort at Villefranche which is built in a very similar style. These angles make it basically invulnerable to attack, I would guess. This one is quite big, and this route goes all the way around it. It's quite steep. I just climbed a bit. I used the very lowest gear, and I just about made it. I think it was 20% that bit of the tarmac. So I might give that a miss on the way back. I'll continue around. It's a site historique, and as usual here in France, they give you lots of information about the history, all in French, of course, but sometimes they're in English as well, but more or less in French. So there's a map of Cap de Antibes, and then the fort is the dark black piece at the bottom, and the town of Antibes itself is just across the bay. So it's quite interesting. Yeah, I've never been up here. I don't think I'll bother going in today. I'll just admire the exterior. I might ride all the way around. There's a gravel circuit just below us, but this tarmac, I've never been up here. I didn't know this existed. So I'll see where it goes. I'll continue around. So this is a monument. I assume it's to the dead of the First World War. It's quite impressive, really. It's got plenty of names carved on it. I don't know whether it's it's got stairs down below, but I'm above it now. And then the noise, you can hear the shouting. There's a football pitch here, and scan around. There's the fort. It's pretty big. I've just read that it's 19th century. Yeah, 19th century construction. I thought it was older than that. And then there's a memorial here to somebody. Naples, died of fever in Antibes, but I can't see the name. I suppose it's Garibaldi. I doubt it somehow. And that's my route home along the coast there, along the coast road.